just ends with a colon, // and it tells your browser how to communicate with what server. Port is basically which part of the application, which port is it running on the web server. So a web server, ideally nowadays, we kind of have dedicated web servers for different applications, but a lot of times we still run different apps and different services on one server. So this is just saying for this particular application, we're running on port 8080 in this case. And most of the time, if this is not there, it defaults to port 80, or if there's a redirect set up for HTTPS, which is a more secure version of HTTP, it just redirects you to 443 and so forth. How does HTTP work in terms of like flow of traffic, right? I always actually ask this question. It's one of my favorite questions to ask in an interview. And people would say, come on, that's sort of basic question to ask people. But I'm like, hey, like, I want to know. As a security folks, we could literally unpack this question and go levels and levels of depth and width and breadth and all of that stuff. So I enjoy actually asking this question because it opens like the can of worms, and then we just can kind of get in deeper and so forth. Now that said, let me just kind of cover it high level. As I said, we can dig down deeper into it as much as we want, but I'm going to cover it high level. And pretty much what happens when you type a web address in your browser? Well, imagine that you're the user. You typically would say, hey, I want to go to www.example.com. You type that in your browser.